Hi everyone, Daisy here again with another Shimmers layout. Today I'm using a mix of pinks and purples to create my own embellishments. So I am using a piece of paper that's about 8 by 8 or maybe 8.5 by 8.5, and it's just kind of a scrap piece that I had sitting around on my desk. And I'm using a mix of colors. So the first one I used was pink stilettos, which is a gorgeous pink coloring, so it doesn't have any shimmer in it. The second one I used was a spritz walking in tight heliotrope, which is like one of the best color. Like, it's almost a periwinkle blue kind of color. I absolutely love it. And then I just used pink Moscato, which is a beautiful pink. It's almost a rose gold, almost like super close, but it's a pink with some gold shimmer in it. It's great. And then I am using a couple of these paint pots. The first one was Shimmers, the original Shimmers in magenta. And then I'm also using Golden Roses, Sugar Plum, Precious Posy, and Beats Me. And I haven't used Beats Me all that often, but I am super in love with that right now. It's a really shimmery kind of light pink. It's that one I'm using right there. Light pink color, and the way that it shines is just amazing. So I'm kind of like obsessing over that color right now. So you might see it a few times in my layouts, but yeah. And then I think this is the Golden Roses. Mine dried up a little bit. My daughter was using it, and unfortunately she didn't screw the lid on right, so it dried out a little bit. But the great things about this, just add a little bit of water there, and yeah, it mixes up real nice. I think I added another color. I think plum tuckered out, I think might be what it was, but it's another purple, like darker purple color I added too. So now I am using my scoreboard, which also has a cutting board on it, which is nice. It's from We Are Memory Keepers, and I am cutting 1-inch strips of paper here. And I am going to be creating my own little rosettes. So I am scoring my paper. I don't know the measurements on the scoreboard, but I put 3, so I went every 4th line. And then I flipped it over and scored it in between each one. I hope that makes sense. So like in the middle of each one. So I skipped 3 lines, so I would go on the second line or the middle line when I flipped it over. And that just makes for a super easy way to put these rosettes together. So you just do the accordion fold, which is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which is why I use the scoreboard and I do it on both sides. Makes it easier to fold. It's super easy to do this without a scoreboard. This is a recent purchase for me, and this is one of my favorite embellishments to make. You can use liquid adhesive to glue them down, but really hot glue is the best way to do it. And then I just use a little strip of like scrap paper behind where I'm putting the glue. So I'm, basically like gluing it down to a small piece of paper. So now I wanted to use a little bit of a stencil, and I decided to mix some of the pink Moscato with some modeling paste, and I was just having trouble getting this mix together because my modeling paste is really old, so it was not not loving the mixing process, but I finally got it to work. I just had to mush it down a little bit, and then it worked out fine. And this pink Moscato color matches perfectly to the pattern paper that I'm going to end up using, which is why I chose that color, obviously, to go in my modeling paste. And now I'm just smushing it through using that's a silicone like brush kind of thing. And I'm just kind of putting it in 3 different areas. I did not plan this layout out really at all. I just kind of went with it, so I decided to do kind of 3 little wonky areas with my mixed media there, and I made way too much modeling paste. trying to clean up my little silicone brush there a little bit because I'm really bad at doing that. Like I'll leave it full of stuff and then wonder why like my colors transfer. So always clean your tools, people, because you will regret it if you don't. But anyway, now I'm just taking that pink Moscato and sprinkling it around where I did the stenciling. And I was using the like the hose for it, but I decided to switch to a paintbrush just because I wasn't having much luck on getting the splatters the way I wanted it. So now I'm pulling out that Beats Me again, and I'm going to sprinkle this around. Again, gorgeous, shimmery pink. Absolutely love it. And you just see me touching my paintbrush down in a couple of spots to make a few like bigger splatters. And that modeling paste dries really fast, and that's why you see I'm going to roll my paper towel. Like a little bit of the pink from the stars come up, but not a whole lot. So now I'm pulling out this paper, and this is from Dear Lizzie, the Here and Now collection, and it's my favorite color, purple is. So and here's where I kind of wish I had planned my layout out just a tad bit more, because I hacked into that paper and then I could have cut smaller pieces or whatever if I had known exactly what I was planning on doing with it. And I thought, oh, this one looks cool if it's going on the diagonal, but then it ends up being a square because, you know, that when you cut the corners off a triangle, it's a square. And it wasn't a straight square, so then I didn't like the way it looks. So I'm going to take it off and move it. But that's okay, because it gives me a really good place for my title to go. And then I'm going to start trying to figure out where my rosettes go. And sometimes I wish I would go back and look at my video, because I get a layout that I really like, and then I'm going to move everything and forget where it was, and then it kind of ends up a completely different place. So like I really liked the way those rosettes were placed, and then I moved them, and now I don't have any idea at all where they were. So I've been really big into outlining my layouts lately, and so I decided to do it on this one, and I'm going over the pattern paper to include it as part of the background. And yeah, it didn't work super well. It wasn't super straight, so then I'm going to go around again so that the areas where I messed up, it looks like it was intentional, like I was just kind of scribbling it on myself. And then I have these two photos of my daughters, and they're super duper cute. It's from probably, let's see, 5 or 6 years ago. No, 6 or 7 years ago, I bet. Yeah, because my youngest was probably 3 or 4. And so my oldest was like 6 or 7. But anyhow, we have this local park where there's like a wild area, I guess. There's like just a patch of trees or whatever. And every year one of the park's employees like to go and they drag in a bunch of branches from the surrounding like forest area and create like a little teepee, or they'll build like a little fort of some sort in the trees for the kids to kind of play in and to like explore and everything. So I got super cute pictures of them, and they're both wearing pink and purple, so it was absolutely perfect. And so here I was just trying to figure out, do I like this? Do I not like this? I think I was taking a picture of it and sending it to my friend to see what she thought. And then I pulled in some thickers. I really wanted to use those stickers. I think they're from Pebbles, or a Pebbles collection, I believe. And but it didn't have all of the letters I needed in the same color, so don't end up using that because I'm going for monochromatic for whatever reason. I find whenever I'm struggling with like my creative mojo, that's kind of the area I go. Like that's my comfort zone, is let's just do monochromatic, because then I don't have to think about it. I just have to pull anything that matches that color scheme, right? So I decided to use these thickers, and I believe these are Amy Tangerine thickers. I hate the color of them. So I'm going to paint them using the Beats Me paint. However, I didn't think about gessoing them first. So I highly recommend, if you're going to do this, gesso it. It will save you a lot of grief. I do end up doing like 3 coats of paint on these. And it cracks a little bit when I pull it off the paper. The gesso definitely would have made it easier because the foam was kind of resisting some of the paint. But they turn out fine in the end. I'm perfectly happy with the end product of it. My title's just going to be My Girls, and there was no L's left, so I just do a T, and I'm going to cut the extra little tail off the T. The struggle is real for me finding thickers that I have enough letters to spell anything. Like, that has been a real pain lately because I have a whole bunch of like partially used thickers. So if anybody has recommendations on how to use those up, I'm all ears. So off screen, I decided to use some of the dots, and these are the, oh shoot, I can't remember the name. I just held them up and it was so fast I didn't see it. Like all for the color or something like that. But they have one that says Better Together, one that says Cherish, and then one that has little hearts on it, and they're black and white. And I'll leave a link in my blog post. So if you're interested in these, I'll leave a link to all the dots so you can check them out. And so I just added them in 3 different spots around the layout. And now I'm using up stash. So I pulled in the Glitter Girl stickers, and I used a couple of those like circle pieces and one of the hexagon pieces and a little bit of washi tape. And then I'm going to pull in some these silver foam glitter stars that are in my stash. Excuse me. And just adding those around. And really, stars have nothing to do with this layout, but I just thought they were pretty and fun, so why not? And then some of these Maggie Holmes Sweet Story little stickers. They are like little washi tape hearts. I was thinking about adding these black leaves because the pictures are kind of dark, so I thought I could add them, but I decided not to. Then I was trying out a couple other stickers. I liked those rainbows, and I thought I could get away with using those as well, but again, just didn't like it. It brought in like colors that weren't already introduced, and so now I'm going to use some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins, and these are Strawberry Fields, I believe, or Strawberry something. And I'm just picking out the like really pretty pink ones that match and sticking them down around. I feel like sequins are always a great embellishment to use. And then I'm going to add my title on here, and I left some space where I can do some journaling. Excuse me. I haven't done my journaling. I don't usually journal on my layouts, but I try to leave space for it just in case I change my mind and want to add a little something. But here you can see I'm sticking them down. You can see a couple of areas where like the paint cracked, but I go over it and it's fine. And yeah, so don't forget, if you put in an order from Shimmers, to add my name down in the comments. Just Daisie is fine, or Daisie Scraps, and you'll get a fun little freebie with your order. So, you know, who can say no to fun little things you didn't order, right? And yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. Head on over to the Facebook group and join there so you can see all of the inspiration and when there's any sales or anything like that going on. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.